next one I know you've not watched, and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
combine because it's a part one and a part two.
Okay.
It's one of the bigger shows, fantasy shows, on CDramas, and that is Eternal Love and 10 Miles of Peach Blossom. Now, Nadia, when
Mm-hmm.
I tell you that I watched these shows religiously for the time
Mm-hmm.
they aired, I knew what time that they were airing, and it didn't matter where I was. When the
You're like, I'm
moment,
there.
yeah, when the moment, like when I saw the time and I was like, ah, I nearly put alarms. That's how dedicated I was.
Okay.
Yeah. When I knew, oh, it's about to air, I would,
Mm.
yeah, I would go in and watch. Now,
But
because I
how
know
were
you
you
have it,
watching them without subtitles? Or they were airing with subtitles?
on YouTube, they were airing with subtitles.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, no, this ones you cannot not watch without subtitles because there are those shows that are that are very very long. So like Eternal Love, I'm
Mm,
seeing here was 56 episodes.
oh my gosh. Okay.
But
Those are like those are like three K dramas. I don't
and then 10
actually
miles of
four.
peach, yeah, and then 10
Mm-hmm.
miles of peach blossom was like 58.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we start with 10 miles of peach blossom, which is the first one. I had confused. So
Mm-hmm.
in this one, Dilraba is not the main character. She's actually a side character
Mm-hmm.
and she basically falls in love with, okay, it's a fantasy. So she is a nine-tailed fox, and
Okay.
she is the princess to take over the nine-tailed fox monarch and rule
Mm-hmm.
over a certain piece of land, right?
Okay.
And she falls in love with a very old, like thousands and thousands and thousands of year old god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who retired his position and gave his power, like he has powers, but he gave his now authority power to, like, I think the nephew who now runs things as the king.
Mm-hmm.
So that's now her story. In 10 Miles of Peach Blossom, we follow the story of her aunt, who falls in love with the the king's son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And okay, first she falls in love with the king's, was it brother or the king's brother? I don't know, his brother who dies and then comes back as a reincarnation of the king's son, looking exactly like the king's brother. It was very complicated.
What? What?
Okay,
Okay.
just know that the auntie fell in love with the king's son, who was really taught from a very young age that he should be a certain way, like he should walk a certain way, like he shouldn't make mistakes. And
Mm-hmm.
as a result, he started wearing black. And when he
Mm-hmm.
was asked why he wears black, he says, so that they don't see me bleed. Yeah. So that story was a roller coaster, and I don't want to get into it. But Dilraba's character was cute in that show, and like she would follow around the gods, and she would. It was just, there was a lot of cuteness happening, and I guess that's when the writers decided, okay, we need to do a separate show, Eternal Love of Dream. The focus is on the love story between Dilraba and this guy's name is called Gao Wei Guang. Now, this guy is actually good looking. I know you say you don't find Chinese, but the son is actually good looking.
Well, I heard everything you said when you were
Mm.
saying that he's good looking, and I was like,
Oh,
I mean, he's all right.
what do you mean he's all right?
He is.
Fine. So,
I mean, he's okay. Like, I've just like checked him out on Google. He's okay.
you disappoint me, but it's fine. Uh,
I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, like yeah, attraction is relative. So.
okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So in Eternal Love of Dream, we follow these two characters and their love story. And it has a lot of ups and downs. And yeah, because it's a fantasy, there's a lot that happens. I think the main story is there's a certain bad demon who the god had put away for a very
Mhm.
long time. And throughout the series, this demon is able to get bits and pieces to break free. And when she,
Mhm.
yeah, so they are, as they are continuing their lives and doing certain stuff, the demon is getting um like I think she got blood something, and she was able to break free from her prison. And then now when that happened, the god had to decided to protect. Oh, meanwhile, this god was losing his power.
Mhm.
He became weak because one, when he went back on earth for trial, they go to earth for trial without their powers to live a life of suffering or something like that. I was just like, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
when he went to earth for trial and to live a life of suffering, Dilraba followed and kind of messed things up. And so that he can get out of that situation, she broke his heart, and that messed up with his powers when he came back. Yeah.
Okay.
So it weakened him. And then also again, they were attacked again, and that weakened him again. Oh,
Mm.
he split his heart into two.
So
And
that.
and made a half of his heart into a ring and gave Dilraba. I
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and that also weakened him further. So this really strong god was going after this really strong demon, but as a very weak god. Meanwhile, this demon has had time to increase her strength. So while fighting and everything, Dilraba learns about it. She comes and they fight together, and the power of love and whatnot. Well, there's a bit more dramatizing because it at the end of the fight they were both down, both stabbed, and then their bloods connected. And then I don't know what that power did, and they both survived. Aki, you're getting tired. Don't be. Look, it makes a lot more sense when you watch the bloody series.
I mean, the, I think this is the issue I have with fantasy shows, but to each their own. So it's fine. I won't say anything.
It makes a lot more sense when you're watching the show. I, like
Mm-hmm.
now, as I say it and as I explain it, I realize how ridiculous it sounds.
You know what? It's okay. It's to be expected from a fantasy show, so it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, the show ends when she takes over. Uh, does she take over the position of queen? And
Mm-hmm.
her Oh, no, no, no. The show ends when the god gets to meet his son. Yeah.
Oh, so he had a son.
Yeah. Before they got married, she was pregnant. And when he was supposed to come and they get
Mm-hmm.
married, he ended up going into the demon world to solve a problem, but he didn't come out on time. And
Mm.
Dilraba like got heartbroken because she thought he had left her.
Mm.
Yeah. And so she decided to run away to the mortal world or to the world of the living.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that and just so that she can forget about him and all that, and then
Mm.
she thought that would be better because of the kid, so that people don't talk about her being pregnant out
Mm.
of marriage and
Wedlock. Yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so she gave birth on earth and took care of her son there. And then that's when the battle happened and she went back. She gave the son to the portal keeper to take care of him while they fought the war. And then now in the end, the king, or the what is it,
Mm.
the god finally met the son, and it was very clear that it was his son because he has white hair and the son was born with white hair. So there was no DNA test needed. That
He
was
was just like,
definitely
"You are my
mine.
son." Okay. That's quite something. And you've just said those are like three chapters of
No,
the
there are
show.
two. Those are two.
Okay.
Season one and season two.
So in total, there are 100 and something episodes.
Yeah. But if you really want to watch the Dilraba story, you don't have to watch season one. Like season two is where I enjoyed it. I loved it. The visuals were
Mm.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the love story. Dilraba plays a um, naughty kind of character because she's also supposed to be a fox. So
Mm.
there's that also happening. And then the god is kind of aloof, kind of doesn't talk much. He's supposed to be kind of all knowing person. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because he's a god, like, and he has all these strong powers. So but he softens for her only kind of a
Of
situation.
course, of course. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really good show. I think she's just a fox. No, they saw that and I was like, you're just a fox.
I think it's on Netflix. Am I going to try it? I really feel like I
No.
need to try. And no, don't say no. What do you mean no?
I know you, Nadia. I just told you it's 56 episodes. You're not gonna watch it.
I've not said I'm going to watch all of it. What I've said is I'm going to try because I'm trying to
Okay.
like get out of my bubble
Comfort zone. Okay.
in terms of shows. So
Mm,
because it's on Netflix, that's easier for me. It
mm,
means I can pace myself. So I'm going to try and
mhm.
watch a couple of episodes and see where that takes me. I hope there's no crazy kung fu where people are like jumping in the air because
Of
that
course
really
there
puts.
is.
Oh God. Okay, I'm getting in knowing what it is I'm getting into. Okay, fine.
Yeah. And then
I'll
there's
accept it.
powers, a lot of powers
I have
happening.
no issues with powers. I have issues with, like now the one that's on Netflix, the one with Yang Yang,
Who
and
rules the world?
that one.
And then I'm looking forward to
That
watching it.
that the female lead was standing on a tree.
Of
I
course.
was just like, and then she's able to slap you with her clothes from where she is. I just said this shows are
Yes.
just for me, when people are still just like you're literally jumping, walking into the air. I'm like, my mind cannot comprehend this. I'm sorry. Even K-drama fantasy, it's
Mm.
not that exaggerated. But I guess the exaggeration comes with the idea of kung fu. So
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm.
have to accept that there is that element of kung fu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there. It's a lot of powers jumping. It's there.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
We go to the next one. There
mhm.
is, let's talk about how She Is Pretty tried to make Dilraba ugly.
Okay. I haven't watched that one. I've watched the K-drama one, but
Yep.
mhm,
Oh, okay. She Is Pretty, as you know, you've watched the K drama one. We all know the story. This girl,
yeah,
she has frazzled hair, glasses, funny teeth,
that
and
messed up story. Anyway.
yeah, and she's, she falls in love with this guy, yada yada yada, and then does full
I still,
makeover, Princess Diary style, and love
I
happens.
still, I still don't understand how the friend was not able to recognize
I know
that that was. It was
it-
so messed up because he was like, "Oh, it's because she used to be pretty when she was young."
but
So
in his defense, the female lead did look for a fat guy when they first met.
okay, true, that's true. But that
Yeah.
makes sense, Cynthia, because you left someone looking a certain way. So, okay, fine, you're right.
Yeah.
I do get it. But the
Mm.
whole idea of freckles not being pretty and curly hair, now
It's a
that's
lie.
an issue. It's a
Yeah.
lie.
So they really tried very hard to make Dilraba ugly. She was
Mm,
not. But
mhm.
her performance made me think she's ugly. Like she acted so well. I was like, oh, you're ugly.
That's what counts. As long as she nailed it, that's what counts.
Like I still don't understand.
You know,
Anyway,
there's a Japanese version of that show, by the way.
are you serious?
Yeah,
I don't think I can watch it.
I barely watch J dramas because they're just weird. But anyway,
Mm. The
moving on.
language, I still have to get past the language. I'm not there yet.
mean, I think for me, it's just the fact that the acting is just so random. Like in Fishbowl Wives, oh, I was like, who was the intimacy coordinator here? Like, who did this? They, I need to have a word with them. Like, we need to talk about this because it was nasty. It was
Mm,
nasty.
mm,
Like the way you can watch a K drama or a C drama,
mm,
and C dramas are not for most C dramas, their intimate scenes are not that interesting. I'd
mm,
say I'd say K drama and
mm,
to an extent Thai dramas as well are really good at like coordinating that. So
mm.
they have like certain scenes where you're like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. Like I'm into this. J drama, like Fishbowl Wives, I was just like, that's nasty. Stop it. That's just nasty. And that time people are just making out. And they're making out, you're seeing tongue, you're just seeing things that you don't want.
Mm,
That
mm,
thing was just, it was, for me, it was like poorly done. And if that's, I don't know if that's a reflection of the society, I don't think it is.
mm.
But no, it was just, in terms of intimacy, that was just weird. But that's my little rant. So,
For J dramas. Okay, okay.
for J dramas.
We're about to finish the list. Now we have
Mhm.
Sweet Dreams. with Dilraba and Denglan. My
The guy
favorite
that you like. I
guy.
know, yeah.
Yeah. Ah, yes, he's so handsome. Okay, I have a
He
problem.
is.
I
He
think
is.
I I think I just like guys in general.
No,
Let's
you
just
do
put
like guys, but of course the people who you like, yeah, this person is, yeah.
mm, another very well told story. Do I remember the entire story? No, but I do remember it had something to do with flowers, and they used to
I was going to
communicate.
say that, yeah.
uh, Yeah, they used to communicate through flowers. I
And I
think
think he was afraid of fire.
yes, he was afraid of fire. And I
Mm.
also think there was a way they used to meet each other in their dreams, hence the name.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen it. It's one of those shows people recommend, but at the same
Hmm.
time, I've also had like it's not that great. So,
Yeah, it's one of those you either like it or
or
not
you
kind of
don't.
shows. Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Makes sense.
But I liked it. So, of course, it's on
I
my
mean,
list.
I'm yet to find a deal rubber show that you don't like. So, yeah.
Oh, we're about to get there. No, 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 no. We're about to get there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I love Denglan. This is the first performance I saw that Denglan had, and I
Mm-hmm.
really, really liked. And I ended up going into a Denglan rabbit hole and watched
Mm-hmm.
so many of his shows until I couldn't get any more. And then I was like, oops, okay, uh,
I mean, I
let's
can
go.
relate to that. So it's fine.
Yeah, I was like, okay, now let's look for something else. Clearly, there's nothing I can do now.
There's
Yeah,
nothing. I can't rewatch it because I've already rewatched. So it is what it is.
yeah. So there's that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
let's rant about Love Designer.
Gosh, not sure. You know, I've only watched two Dilraba shows,
Mm-hmm.
and now Love Designer is the second one. And I, I've watched it twice. Yeah, the first time I think I liked it. I think because if I watched it a second time, no, I watched it the second time because I was like, I don't really remember what happened here. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, the second rewatch, wow. I was like, no. Did Dilraba do well in that show? Yes. Uh, she was this independent lady who just had so many bad things happening to her, but she was like, yeah, I'm going to push through. I liked how she portrayed the whole female entrepreneur thing, and you're really trying to just like be on your 2 feet, and you're trying to stand on your 2 feet, and you're literally just trying to like pursue your dreams despite all these nasty things that keep happening to you. Uh, so I liked she did that well. Something else that she did really well was just portraying a strong female character. I freaking loved that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare to see shows where, okay, for me, I think it's C dramas, yeah. Actually, no. No, yeah, C dramas. K dramas lately are getting out of that whole weak female character thing, and we're having starting
Mm-hmm.
to see a lot of very powerful female leads and powerful female villains as well. So I like that. Have you noticed now in K drama, like the villains tend to be women, and it's always an old
Oh
woman,
yes,
an ajuma.
yes.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's actually pretty cool. Anyway, so
mm,
I liked her portrayal of a strong female character. I didn't really like her best friend. She was a bit spoiled, but
mm-hmm,
granted, her dad spoiled her a lot. One scene that I hate so much, it has nothing to do with Dilraba, by the way. This show, can I just rant about the fact that
mm-hmm,
the dad didn't want to tell her that now the best friend, the female leads Dilraba's best friend, that he was
mm,
sick. And his excuse was this girl has not seen hardship in her life. What? Cynthia, what? So your dad is sick, he's admitted
Mm,
into hospital, but he feels you can't handle this. And to be honest, let's just be honest. She was a child. She was a
mm,
freaking child, and that's because her parents used to treat her like a child. I hated how she treated her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was so damn nice. But
mm.
she was like, yeah, I mean, you have to bend at my, like, you have to be at my, what's that saying? Is it bend at my whim? I don't know. But
Do what I
I
say.
do what I say. I didn't
Mm,
really like that. And that guy really liked her. Anyway, so Dilraba, strong independent girl doing her thing. She meets the CEO. Okay, they met the first day. So,
mm.
and Johnny Wang, I actually like Johnny Wang. Is his name Johnny Wang or Johnny Zhang?
I think it's
Okay, I know
Johnny Wang.
it's Johnny Wang. Yeah.
Mm,
So Johnny Wang just like nailed that bit. I liked how people would say that he is overbearing, but I don't really think he was. He was just a guy who was like, I really like you, and because I like you, I want you to get better at what you do. So he just used to tell it to give it to her straight. And I really, really liked that. It was like it's not what you'd see in normal C dramas or K dramas where like the CEO is trying to cushion her. For the
mm,
most part, he really didn't. He just used to be like, okay, fine. People are going to say that I'm cushioning you, and I don't want that for you.
mm.
So I liked how he used to just tell her, listen, what you're doing right now is crap, but you can get better. Yo, okay. I like this relationship, but
Mm.
I don't know, the relationship was interesting. The show could have ended in 25 episodes, to be honest. There was no need for them to go above 30 because it reached a point, it was dragging with all her male leads. There's something she's able to like draw out of them that they just have fantastic chemistry.
Mm.
I've not seen her lacking. Okay, I've watched what am I going to say? I've only watched two things, but there's nothing I've ever seen of hers, even if it's like a short clip of something of one of her other shows. She just
Mm.
seems to have very good chemistry with these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
When she plays with a character, you do believe, okay, this is a whole
yeah,
different person falling in
that's
love with
true.
a whole different person. Yeah. And another thing I'm
Exactly.
beginning to notice in all her shows, even where she's sweet and cuddly and whatever, she's still a strong female lead or a strong female
Mm,
character. Yeah, because even when
true.
she was a fox following the god around, she was
Mm,
actually a pretty tough swords person and she could fight and she was the heir to a throne. Like she was supposed
mm.
to, yeah, she was supposed to
She was
lead an entire
badass.
nation. Yeah. So
Mm,
there's no film. I'm yet to watch drama or film where she's weak.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Mm,
She picks her roles well.
yeah.
Yeah. Which is
Mm,
good because we're really tired of that whole female I need to be saved trope. Like we're done. We're in 2022, surely. We don't need to be saved and no one needs to be controlling us. So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that she's not pushing that agenda. What
Mm,
I did hate about that Love Designer show though
mm.
is boundaries. That male lead had no boundaries. Eh, hey, what were boundaries? Non-existent. Did not like they were not there. They were not. One, yes, he owned the house she was living in, but that did not give him the right to just randomly walk in as if there's even a point where she called him out. She's like, okay, listen, I get it. Like, you own this apartment, but I am renting it. So it means it's my space.
Mm,
You can't just walk in here as if you live here.
mm.
And then he's just there like, oh, I don't know. I just wanted to check on you. And she's like, no, you you can't do that. Like I need space. Then another thing that I just didn't understand is how he was just like he used to just depend on her for like things that didn't make sense for me. Okay, when they were dating, yes, I could see how now she'd come in and help, or even when they had become familiar, they were like friends. I could don't okay, were they ever friends? No, they were just. It was more like a I don't know, I don't even know,
Neighbors.
neighbor to love kind of situation. But you know, in the earlier episodes, they're still getting to know each other. And then he's just there, like, yo, can you go to my sister's school? Though I did see a comment where someone said he probably did that because one, he had a hard time getting through to his sister. So finally, there's a woman around who's able to like chat and just relationship with the sister, and he also saw that they get along very well. So he was like, "Let me. What are the like? Let me just do it. Let me try it. What are the chances that this will fail?" And it did fail because for the most part, that girl, I can't remember her name. The sister had a good
Mm.
relationship with Jing Jing. She was also super immature, but anyway, it's to be expected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But other
I
than that, Love Designer was not bad. It
yeah.
dragged, but it wasn't bad.
I also remember watching it and enjoying it. Do I remember what the
Mm.
story was about? No, no. Like when you talk about it, I can kind of picture a balcony and glass. I can kind of picture the sister being like listening to loud music in
Oh
her room,
yeah,
throwing
like
a
loud
tantrum.
hip hop music
Yeah, yeah,
and
I
braiding her
remember.
hair.
Yeah, I remember them trying to convince the brother that she should go and study abroad.
Oh yeah, and then her doing really, really well.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
Well,
I think
that's
at some
all.
point he had a hard time
Hmm.
being able to, I don't know if it was paying her fees because, oh, I felt so bad for him. I don't know if that's what happened, but I know there's a period where he had like financial difficulties. But
Hmm.
that's the point where like now Dilraba really came in and supported him because
Hmm.
he had left his company, or rather his company was like, mm, it was bought out by that guy who, and I didn't even understand that guy.
Hmm.
I didn't know what he was chasing, but anyway, so he bought out the guy's shares, the lead
Hmm.
characters, the male lead shares, but then the male lead had invested in some AI thing,
Hmm.
which took a while to like pick up,
Pick
but
up.
at some point I think it
Uh,
did. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
What
Oh,
I
oh.
didn't something that I didn't really, really, really like in that show was the tiger mom. Ah, Dilraba's mom was a pure definition of the tiger
Tiger
mom.
mom.
Like, yo. First of all, I didn't even understand why she didn't like the male lead.
Hmm.
Half the time she was just like, oh, you have to be with someone who's like you. I don't know. And I loved, I always love reading comments when I'm watching something. I loved
Hmm.
how there was just a sense of camaraderie in
Hmm.
how we didn't like that woman. There were so many people in the comments who were just like, ah, I can just watch this show for Dilraba, but I hate this woman so much. I just hate this. Like I hate her character. Get her out. We don't want her.
That means she did a fantastic job.
That's true. She did a
Yeah.
fantastic I used to just look at her and be like, you wasting my screen time. Stop. Just get out. I don't want to see.
Hmm.
But how Chinese people and basically Asians deal with these overbearing parents, I don't know. Not even Asians. I think just generally, if you have an overbearing parent, like kudos to you because I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah.
I would think I would have just like blown my head off at some
Mm.
point. Well, not literally, but yeah.
It's such a personal thing. There's no way
It
to tell
is.
them how to deal with it, because the way I would deal with my mom would be so different from someone else, despite them being
Mm,
both tiger moms. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, because the relationship we've built is so personal.
true.
So,
That's true.
uh,
But you know
yeah,
what? Behind a tiger mom is always just love and care and concern.
that's
So
true.
it's
Yeah.
just exaggerated.
And the older you get, the more you get to understand.
That's
Um,
true. That's true.
yeah, you might not accept or agree with their methods, but
Mm,
at least you understand that that is the best way they knew how. So
true. That's true.
yeah, yeah. All right. The last one, it will only take like 5 minutes. I'm just going to say how bad it was and then we'll move on. The only show I watched by Dilraba that I did not enjoy, Hot
Hmm.
Girl. And
Okay.
Hot Girl followed Dilraba's character, among other young characters, becoming bodyguards. And it had all the ingredients of becoming an interesting show, but it failed. It was, nah, it was girls, yeah, kicking butt. They were able, while looking fantastic and being bodyguards. Like,
Mm,
I don't know what's better than that, surely. But that was, it was, I don't know. I don't even remember the storyline. There was barely a villain. It was terrible. It was just terrible. And I don't think it was Dilruba's fault, but her character somewhere just, I lost interest. And she was the
mm.
main character, which is very, very sad. There was something wrong with the script writing of that show. Was
Yeah, it's
uh,
definitely the script.
yeah, would not recommend. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, and that's it for Dilraba.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you know how many shows we have gone through?
it sounds like we've gone through about 5 or 6.
8.
We've gone through 8 shows. You've spoken about 6 shows.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah.
My
We've gone through 8
gosh.
shows. Yeah,
Yo, that's a lot.
and that's how
But
you know we love her.
that's true. That's true. We
Yeah,
have to give it to her. I think personally, she's the queen of C drama.
she is
And she's not only good to look at, but she's
super
just a
talented.
pleasant person to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because she just nails every character.
Mm.
To the point where you're like, yeah, you just see it's synonymous to her. You're like, oh, that's Kao Jing Jing. That's I can't remember her name in Love Designer, but that's the Love Designer girl. So
Mm,
she's a fantastic actress, and I'm definitely going to look forward to more of her shows that are not fantasy or fantasy. Let me just put it like that. If it's not fantasy, I'm definitely going to try and watch it. Um,
mm,
I'd love for her to do something again with Yang Yang. They had fantastic chemistry, or even Johnny. Yeah,
mm.
if they can keep it at 25 episodes, I'll be happy. But
It's
it is
a
what
C
it is.
drama.
It is a C drama.
You're asking too much, man. You're
I'm
asking
not
too
asking for
much.
too much. I've watched a C drama that was 12 episodes.
Was it real or fake? That's the
It
question I
was
have.
it was a very questionable show, by the way. It was very
Yep,
questionable.
that makes
But
more sense.
yeah. Did I like it? Yeah, I liked how weird it was. We had our perfect overbearing person, CEO. or whatever he was.
Oh,
There were just
no.
so many tropes thrown in that thing that you had to watch it because you're like, how did someone write this? How?
Oh no.
But anyway, we
Okay.
love Dilraba and we've had a fantastic time talking about her. I hope
Mm.
you did, Cynthia, because you carried the show. So
I just yeah. Yeah. Me, I'm happy.
you are. You have to
Yeah.
be. You carried the show. Yeah.
I'm happy that this episode has happened. So there's nothing for me to add.
You're
I'm very
content.
happy. Yes. I
Well,
got one
I
and a half hours just to talk about her.
imagine 1.5 hours.
This
Like, that's
is a
insane.
privilege. Yes.
It is, but she deserves it. She honestly
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it from me.
That's it from me too. Hmm.
And I guess that's it from us. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I forgot to say thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.